All right, what's up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we've got some red-black Sabo action lined up for you. That's right, we're going to be checking out this leader in the OP12 format because Revo Army got some really cool new toys to play with from the black card pool. Okay, so let's get right into this, guys. We're going to start off by checking out the deck list. Then we're going to check out 5 games on the sim, and then we're going to finish things up. I'm going to tell you guys what I think about this this leader in this deck going forward. Okay, pretty standard for pretty standard order of operations over here on the VV Theory channel, right? So let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. I will have everything time stamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant links and stuff like that in the comment section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comment section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Today's video is brought to you by Nin Garden, and their summer kickoff sale is live. They're offering 10 to 40% off site-wide across the entire store. For a limited time, get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat purchase while supplies last. Also, don't forget to use my code, TheVVTheory, at the checkout for an extra 10% off. Alright, what's up guys? I got a quick announcement before we launch into today's video. July 1st, on the VV Theory Discord, we are going to be hosting a Rainbow Luffy tournament. Okay, all the details are on the Discord. Be sure to hop on and check it out for yourself if you're interested. Once you hop into the Discord, link is in the channel description. You will land right here in the landing zone, and that's where we say hey to everybody who comes in. We try to wave at everyone who comes in, but notice all the way down the list down here where it says tournaments, you'll be able to bring down this drop down here and go to the frequently asked questions. And here it is. You know, this is the FAQ for it, kind of explaining more about it. And if you have any extra questions, of course, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, but just some quick details on it. It will be July 1st. Okay, and its registration is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and it will end by 8:45. Of the same day. You register the same day and you play that same day. Okay, and it's going to be a Rainbow Luffy tournament. So what does that mean? It's not like a sealed tournament or a limited tournament. Excuse me, in fact, it's the total opposite, right? You're going to be building a deck using any cards in the game up to OP11. Notice it says right here, every set up to OP11 is legal. OP12 will not be legal in the tournament. But you're going to play up to all the way up to OP11. It will be on the sim, okay? And you're going to have access to all the cards in the game. And imagine what that means. Rainbow Luffy, right, guys? Rainbow Luffy, that means you can run any card in the deck. It is a 6-color leader, and it has all names and types. So imagine a deck that has Cavendish, that also has access to 10 cost Lin Lin, that might have access to fill in the blank of whatever cards would normally just be restricted to a single type or color. Okay, so really cool stuff there. If you're interested and you want more details on that, be sure to stop by the Discord and ask away in there. Really looking forward to it. One more thing I want to say about it is notice the timing. It's on July 1st, which is a Tuesday, and the sign-ups start at 8 p.m. Eastern, okay? I stream at 9 p.m. Eastern every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we will be streaming this tournament, okay? So again, if anyone's interested in that, be sure to stop by the Discord and ask about it and hop down to the FAQ and kind of get some ideas on what it's all about. All right, guys, let's go ahead and break down the deck list, starting with the leader. Sabo is a 5,000 power, 4 life, red and black Revo Army leader with the effect Dawn ×1, opponent's turn once per turn. If one of your characters with 5,000 power or more were to be KO'd you may instead give that character minus 1,000 power for the turn instead. Okay, and notice that KO there, guys. That could be from effects or in battle. Just any form of KO, you can save a character with that. All right, we're going to run through the list here, guys. I'm going to try to do this at a pretty quick pace because it is about to storm where I live, guys, at the time you're recording this. So I'm going to try to blast through this list as quickly as we can here. Be sure to mouse. I'm going to mouse over each one of these, so be sure to pause this if you're a newer player and read what they do. Running 3 Bello Betty Searchers, 4 2K counter Koala, 4 2K counter Sabo, 2 Karasu, 4 Lindbergh, 4 Emporio Ivankov, 1 red 8-cost Red Dragon, 4 Koala, the new Searcher, 4 of Emporio Ivankov, 4 Hack, 4 Morley, 4 of the 8-cost Black Dragon, the new OP12 Dragon, 2 Fire Fists, 4 Captains Assemble, and 2 of the Searcher Stage. So the entire idea here is we're running a lot of early searchability We have 4 of the new Koala Searcher. We have 4 of the new Event Searcher. And these are the better ones. That's why we're running 4 of each instead of 4 Bello Betties, because these help fill up our trash, which is very important. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a second with Dragon. So we're running 4 Koala. This, it's a top 3 search. We draw 1 Rebel Army card from that, and then the rest go to our trash. Same exact thing with the event as well. The stage works in the same way, right? Where it's like, okay, we trash a card, so we're filling up our trash, and we're doing a top 3 search to fix our hand. So these bottom searchers here, the stage, the event, and the new black Koala, they are really good for filling up our trash and searching our deck for the cards we need and fixing our hand. Bello Betty is still a really good searcher, and it does a top 5 search. So while it doesn't help fill up our trash, it does help us find missing pieces that we might need to get. Okay, like if we haven't found a dragon or something like that yet. So we have a lot of searching going on here. That's, early on, we're trying to fix our hand, play out some searchers, fill out the board a little bit. But remember, guys, this is not Bello Betty. So when we play out these little one-cost characters, they're probably not going to get a massive amount of value, but you still can get some value with them, and it's nice to have characters on the board. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do early on. Going into the mid-game, going into turn 2 and 3 and 4. Actually, let me just say turn 2 and turn 3 real quick. Going first, we want to get down this Ivankov. It is a blocker, and it fills up our trash. Perfect, okay? Or do even more searching. If you have multiple searchers in hand, we're running 13 searchers, right? So if you did a search on turn 1 and then more searchers on turn 2, that's fine. Fill up your trash, fix your hand, okay? But going second, so going first, turn 2, Ivankov is probably the best play to help fill up your trash and get a blocker down. But going second, excuse me, it's still fine to play out an Ivankov and even do a searcher, but playing out Hack is probably more important. This card is very important in the deck. Getting this down early, or even a Lindbergh. Lindbergh is fine as well to help you battle for the board. You can get down these on turn 2 and then start to stabilize a little bit, right? Turn 3, going into your 5 Dawn turn going first, you're just going to want to slam down Ivankov pretty much every single time without hesitation if you have that option. Okay, otherwise you can play out a 4-cost card and then attach a Dawn to your leader and protect your board better. If you're going second on your 6 Dawn turn, I think you still should just slam down an Ivankov and then attach a Dawn to your leader and go from there. Okay? Now, we're almost done. Don't worry, because we only have to talk about your 7 Dawn and 8 Dawn turn. 7 Dawn turn, you're going to want to play out an Ivankov if you didn't play out one the turn before, or even if you can play out 2 in a row, that's fine, right? Just go 2 in a row like that. Fill out your board, make a lot of targets on the board for your opponent to have to deal with, for you to battle for the board with, and just become very aggressive, right? You want to kind of battle for tempo in that way. And then finally, on your 8 Dawn turn, if turn 4 going second, you want to slam down this dragon here. The card you're going for from the trash every time is this Ivankov. Now, let me read what the card does real quick. This is why it's so important to play out these bottom searchers here, like the Koala, the event, and the stage to fill up your trash, because look at what Dragon does. Dragon is an 8-cost, 8,000 power character with an on-play. You may place 3 Revo Army type cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. And then if your leader is Revo Army, play up to 1 character card with a cost of 6 or less from your trash. Now, unlike Koala, the black-yellow Revo Army leader, we don't have a really, really strong 6-cost character to play out from our trash, like Kuma, or even like Nico Robin. Because for those who are not aware, if you're wondering, like, wait, where's Nico Robin at? Remember, guys, your leader has to be Koala or Luffy for this character to be a blocker and to have the +3 cost. Now, I wish we could get the blocker no matter what, then I would play it in this deck. The on-play is still not bad, being able to, trash a card to make your opponent trash 2 cards. It's still probably worth considering, but we can't search it up with anything except the Koala, right? We can only search it up with Koala, and let me see this. Even this event cannot search it up from OP12. Only this one Koala can, so I'm not really focused on this card. If you just want to include the card, by all means, right? Go for it. But I was not a huge fan of it in Red Black Sabo. It didn't quite have the same synergy that it didn't quite have the synergy I wanted. So let me get back to the Revo Army stuff real quick. Whoops. There we go. So the main target we're trying to pull back with this dragon is this Ivankov. Okay, so if you can get this card into the trash, even if your opponent attacks into it early, maybe just let it go, right? If I wouldn't. It really depends. I wouldn't just let the card go for no reason. For example, if you can save it on the board and you have a Dawn on your leader to save it from a big attack with your leader effect, sure, just let it stay on the board. Make your opponent invest more into attacking and more into the board. However, if you can get this card in your trash with something like something like the Koala Searcher, because remember, guys, with this Koala Searcher, everything you can only pick 1 Revo card from it. okay, let everything else go to the trash. So you can actually choose to get a 2K counter, even if this is in your search, and just let this go to the trash, and you'll pull it out later with the Monkey D Dragon. Okay, and imagine what that's going to look like. You might go, you know, on an 8 Dawn or higher turn, 8-cost Dragon into Ivankov, into something like a Karasu or a Lindbergh or a Sabo or a Hack or a Morley. I mean, Morley's not the best example, but or even like a blocker Ivankov. That's also really nice, right? So that's the whole idea with the deck, is playing out this Dragon later in the game to develop multiple threats on the board. Make it really hard on your opponent. Now, Karasu, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not earlier. This card is not like a huge part of, you know, like this is not what makes the deck move, right? This is not Bello Betty. This is not your win condition in Red Black Sabo. It can help you. It can help you close out games, and, you know, it's a searchable card. It's a card we could cheat out with Ivankov or even from our trash with Dragon. It's fine for doing that. But this is not like a missing piece to the puzzle, right? It's just a nice utility card we have access to in the red and black Revo Army color pool. What else? And guys, that's about it. We are running one of the red dragons as like one of our closers. Great card, and because of all of our searcher power, you're probably going to be able to find this card every single time, right? You're probably going to be able to find it pretty much every time. We're running the 2K count. We're running 12 2K counters with Koala, Sabo, and Morley. I think we're running 12 blockers or something like that. Let me see. We're running 4 Hack, 4 Ivankov. Actually, just 8. We're only running 8 blockers, but they're very solid blockers, especially in a deck like Sabo, where we can protect them once per turn. Understand how this effect works, guys. Like, if they swing for 10k with a character, or 12k, whatever k with a character, if you have a Dawn attached to your leader, and you block with a 5,000 power or bigger character, you can just ignore the KO effect, and now you just give it minus 1,000 for the turn. So now they have to attack into it again, and now it's getting double the value from it, and if it's against Hack, it might even bring something, you know, it might take something down with it. Okay, so really good stuff there. Okay, that's about it, guys. We'll talk more about it towards the end of the video, okay? We'll talk more about this deck list. Let's go ahead and hop into some games on the sim. Let's check out this deck in action. All right, first game up we have against Blue-Purple Sanji. Volume is off, speed is on 2x, and here we go. All right, so typically speaking, I think we do want to go second. Going second is our preference with this deck. We can go first. We have a good 1-3-5 curve with the Searcher into the Ivankov, but going second's really nice because we had just slammed down our Dragon on curve. Okay, so turn 1 here, we are going second. They started off with a Concaster to draw a card, and we start off with a double Koala Searcher. Our trash is our trash is pretty full at this point. We have 4 cards in there already, and we were able to fix our hand a good bit there. Now, this first version of the list has a few cards that are off, but the other 4 games that we're going to be looking at are the exact list we just looked at. But this first game has a few cards in here I'm still experimenting with, like that 5-cost Karasu, okay, which I did end up dropping later on. I'll talk more about that at the end of the video if I remember. It mainly has to do with not being a searchable target for the Ivankov, though. Okay, so we play out a Karasu on curve. We swing in for 4 there. They give 5 into 4. They give us a 2K counter. They develop a Reiju. That is still a 5,000 power Reiju. They do not have enough cards in their trash yet. We're going to swing for just 5. We're only swinging in for 5 with Karasu. We don't really care. Like I said, guys, that Karasu is just a nice card in the deck. It's really meant to just be a distraction. It doesn't really help us too much. Okay, so we play out the Ivankov, and hang on a second. That's why I had to make some revisions. Look at what I searched up, guys. Like I said, this first deck we're looking at here, it's going to be a little bit off from what we just saw, okay? Only this first game is, okay? The next 4 games are exactly what we just saw. And look at this, guys. We just did a top 3 search with our Ivankov, and look what we found. Everything was a whiff. A 6-cost, a 6-cost, and an 8-cost. Feels terrible. I should say a 7,000 power, a 7,000 power, and a 9,000 power, right? So it feels terrible. We kind of just wasted our turn, to be honest, and we just lost 3 incredible cards that were on the top of our deck. Well, okay, so here we go. So they're going to play out a Sanji here. Their board is not, Blue-Purple Sanji's board is not really the thing, to worry about. It's more about what he can do with his events in hand. So he's going to go ahead and not attack with Vinsmoke Reiju. He only attacked it with his leader. We counter out. We're going to play out Dragon. So this is good. We're still at least playing out Dragon on curve here. We're going to play out another Ivankov. Again, we pretty much got a complete whiff there. We're going to play out the Koala because it's slightly bigger, than what we had in the other Koala. So we gained 1,000 power from that. Not really anything great, though. So we swing for 5, swing for 5, swing for 6. We're just going to keep the pressure on. And even though we don't have a Dawn on our leader, we don't really care, right? We don't really care about that. If they want to take out our board, that's fine. Turn your character sideways for me. Hey, do me a favor and attack into my board here and turn your character sideways so that way I can hit him with a Fire Fist next turn and start battling for the board. So again, we're not too concerned about that. Okay, so now they finally have enough cards in their trash. Their Sanjis are 6Ks and their Reiju is a 7K. They're going to swing. I just give up everything there, guys. I say, all right, yep, you can have that. They did red rock my dragon off the board. That's unfortunate, but hey, even in this other version I was running, guys, we have tons of searcher power. Tons and tons of searcher power. We're going to pull some cards back. We let that Ivankov go last turn, and we just got it right back with the dragon here. We're going to grab the koala this time on purpose to drop the power of one of their characters. So now that Sanji is a 3K. We're going to go 3 into 3. They block out. That's fine. Now we're going to go 6 into 3. I think we should have gone 5 into 3. That's fine. Okay, it was going to end up being 6 and 6 there, so seems good. All right, so now we finally have them down to 1 card in hand. This is not the position you want to be in unless that card can draw them a bunch of cards. They're going to start swinging at face here, guys. They're in desperation mode, and hey, sometimes that's what you have to do. But let's see if they're going to be able to survive here. They're going to swing for 5. We'll just give them a 1K, of course. And they have 4 Dawn left. What are they going to do? Play out another blocker? Okay, no. They're going to leave their blocker up. So we're going to 3 into 2. They're going to let that card go every time. And now we're going to 6 into 6. That card's gone. And now we have slowed them down to an extent here where they can't really win on the crackback or anything like that. And we have a blocker in hand. Now we don't have any counter power in hand, okay? But we do have a blocker in hand here. I'm trying to get him to turn the Reiju sideways. I'm swinging for 6. He does not take the bait. And I'm like, okay, well then maybe I force things. Maybe I swing for, okay, I'm going to swing for 8 and see what he does here. Okay, he counters out, so now I can't realistically go for game. So I think, looks like I'm just going to smash in for 10. He'll probably take that, and we're going to play out a blocker and pass the turn. Okay. So now we're in a position now where, again, he can't really go for lethal no matter what. I guess maybe if he had the 7-cost rush Sabo, or not Sabo, Sanji. If he had the 7-cost rush Sanji, I guess he could have snuck game there, actually. Okay, and look at this, guys. Yeah, I have no counter power coming, so that would have been pretty ugly if he had the rush Sanji there. He could have swung for 7, 8, or 7, 7, 8. Okay, we're going to swing it for 7s, guys. We're going all in here. They use Gum Gum Giant right away. Seems good. We're going to swing for 7 more. Can he get out of this? He has Concaster. Seems good. We're going to swing for... Okay, we're going to play out the Dragon. We're going to swing for 7 more. This is going to... I mean, he's going to have the event in hand here, guys, because otherwise it's going to be blocker game, right? Because we have 3 more attacks. Okay, yep, so he's got to give me all of his blockers here. That's fine. Now I have the blocker. I have a 1K counter. Okay, pause. If he had top decked any kind of rush card, like the 6-cost rush Luffy or the 7-cost Sanji that can tap down a blocker, I was toast right there. That was a little too close for comfort, but this version was at least a good example of what the deck is capable of. Again, immediately after this game, I started making revisions to the deck because I was like, okay, I can't afford to whiff my 5-cost Ivankov searches. I cannot afford it whatsoever. So we made some revisions to what you guys saw when we were going over the deck list. Okay, good game to my opponent there. Let's go on to the next one. We got a game versus blue-purple Luffy. Okay, or excuse me, purple-black Luffy. I had this one worded wrong. Notice down here I have the title. It's that is not the correct title. I was like, wait a minute, that's not a blue-purple Luffy. That's purple-black Luffy. Okay. So they're going to go first this time. Purple-Black Luffy does prefer to go first, and we prefer to go second, so this is actually pretty ideal for both of us. They don't get the aggressive Zoro start, but they got the Nico Robin. That makes me happy. They had to use a 2K counter for that ramp there. We're okay with that. We had no turn 1 Searcher, which is absolutely insane, considering we have 13 1-drops we wanted to see there. We didn't see any of them. We're going to swing for 5. They counter out. We're going to play out Hack and pass the turn. Okay, they're going to play out Nico Robin. This actually doesn't hurt us that bad. We want to fill up certain cards into our trash, so we go ahead and we end up doing that. Okay, they're going to swing for 5. We do give them, I think we give them a 1K counter there. And here we go. We're going to play out the Imperial Ivankov right on curve here. I played that out first just in case I ran into a Karasu. We ended up not finding one. That's fine. We're going to swing for 6. I'm actually hoping he blocked it. Okay, he did not block it. I was hoping he would block it. Watch this, guys. Tap down the Sabo, make our hack into a 7K, swing for 7. He's got to block and give me a 2K counter here, guys. I was hoping he would block that first one, and then we could attack into him and knock him down to 3 cards in hand. Okay, here we go. So they're going to swing for 5 into what? 5 into Sabo. I'm going to give him a 2K for this, probably. Actually, I gave him a 1K. Either one would have been fine. I just need to save that first hit. Now watch this. I'm going to let it go, and I'm just going to counter the attack with my leader effect. Okay, sure, I just let it go, and now it's a 4K for the turn. Okay, now he can go into hack, technically. I think he probably should have gone into hack there, because I would have let it go and just KO'd the, KO'd the Robin. Who cares? It would have been fine. Okay, swing 5 into 4s. You want to save it? Okay, the answer is no. We're going to play out Dragon here. We're going to remember to put 3 cards back first, guys. When I was first learning how to use that card, I think one of the first times I did it, I returned the wrong character back. So be sure to click on the correct character. Okay, we're going to swing for 5 into 5. He's going to take it, and now we're going to swing 6 into 5, even though he has a blocker. I'm fine with that. I just want to give him some targets to attack into on the board. He counters out. Okay, guys, that was just a pure play mistake. That's fine with me, though. I just wanted characters on the board for him to attack into because I want a little bit of relief. I don't want him to attack into my face here. I actually want him to go for my board. I have no Dawn on my leader. That's fine. Attack into my board and give me some more time to build up because I'm at a slightly vulnerable position right now. I have a decent amount of counter power in hand, but I don't really have a lot of good answers in my hand. Okay, and here we go. So we counter out of the first one. Is he going to turn side? Okay, yeah, he's going to swing for 9 into 6. That's a weird number to swing into because it would have still taken 2 cards even if it was 8 or 9. So I think he wasted 1 Dawn there, but not a big deal. Okay, so now he is going to, he still has 6 Dawn to work with for the turn. Maybe he's going to play out another Nico Robin. I'm not sure, but if he attacks with that Nico Robin, which it looks like that's what he's going to do, attacking with Nico Robin is actually very dangerous there, guys. He leaves 4 Dawn active. Okay, so he's basically telling me he has a Gum Gum Giant or 2 or 3, right? That's basically what he's saying here. All right, let's see what he chooses to do. Let's see what he chooses to do here. I think we're going to probably play out the Koala. I think we're going to go 9 into 7 to force 1 card out of hand here. But if it's a Gum Gum Giant, that doesn't exactly feel great, right? That does not feel great. Now, unfortunately, the Koala will only drop a Nico Robin down to a 4K. If we could have dropped the Nico Robin down to a 3K, we probably could have gotten rid of both very easily this turn. Okay, so we're going to go 9 into 7. Does he want to give me another Gum Gum Giant? A 0 costs 3K. Okay, well, now he can't use Gum Gum Giant, right? Because he only has 1 card in hand. So right here, I think we're just going to go 9 into it here, and that card should be gone. Okay, and now we're going to go -3 there. We'll swing 5 into 4, and I think he did have a 2K counter. Seems good. Seems really, really solid. So we developed another character on the board. Our board is still very full. I think we should have done things slightly differently there. I think we probably should have swung... let me see, like 8 and 8 or 8 and 6 or something, like 8 and 7. I'm not sure. We should have done things a little bit different, though, so that we could have 1 Dawn attached to our leader. But okay, well, now we can just swing into his board. We'll go 8 into 7. He has no way to get out of this. He has to let it go unless he wants to give me the blocker, too, which would not be smart. We'll swing in for 5. We'll swing in for 7. And we do have, we're going to smash in as much as we can here. We're going to smash in for 10 just to make him, we're going to force him to use the blocker, because if he plays out a 6-cost Luffy, we're probably toast, right? We're probably in a lot of trouble here. Okay, it looks like they don't have that, which is good for us. We'll take it, and let's see what they choose to do now. Okay, they probably should try to go for my board, but they really can't. Guys, honestly, they can't go for my board because of my leader effect. They're not getting that dragon pretty much under any circumstance. Okay, looks like they're going to swing for 8 into 6. Okay, he only has 8 left that he can attack with, and I'm basically saying, okay, sure, I'll use my effect here, drop him down to a 5. Do you want to swing for 8K? Okay, 6 into 5? No, sir, we're not letting him get away with that one. Okay, so here we go. We get a Bello Betty. We're going to do a top 5 search to start this turn off, but I think we're just going to go for lethal no matter what. I was looking for a dragon to maybe try to go in, for more, bigger attacks, more attacks, bigger attacks, but I already have a Koala on the board. I probably could just load up on that and go for it that way. All right, here we go. So we're going to swing for 7, and they're just going to go ahead and concede. They did have, they had a 2K counter in hand, but okay, swinging for 7 means there's your first blocker. Swing for 7 more, there goes your second blocker, and then swing for 9. Good game. Good game to my opponent. That was a tough one there. They were up against the ropes. They made a few, like I said earlier on, there were a few things they kind of could have gotten around, especially right here. I just want to point out one thing. Here's a slight inaccuracy. I swing for 5. It's okay to take that hit if you're going to take a hit, and they got to ramp a Dawn from it. But right here, watch this. They counter out. I have no more attacks. There was no reason to counter out of that. And guys, if you make little mistakes like that over the course of the game, they start to really add up over the course of the game. Either way, good game to my opponent. That was a good one. That was a fun one. All right, next up, we got a game versus Green Yellow Law. Okay, volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, Green Yellow Law. Actually, this was a pretty good game here, if I remember correctly. This is a pretty good game here. It really comes down to the wire, and I think this game here is a pretty good showcase of how how much potential this leader does have. So we got the stage down early, which is really nice. We play out Ivankov. We're filling up our trash. We have 3 2K counters in hand, so we trash one with our stage to fix our hand a little bit. We find our 5-cost Ivankov. Seems good. Okay, They're going to play out the Kid and Killer here. They're going second this time. We had to go first, and I think they prefer going second, so they took it from us. And look at all that they're able to do here, guys. They got a really good pull with that new Kid and Killer and the Bonnie into the Cavendish. This is a perfect start for Green-Yellow Law. We're going to play out the Ivankov on curve here. I was hoping to maybe find a 4-cost Karasu so that I could, attack in for a little bit, a bigger attack, right? So we're going to swing for 5 here. They'll probably just 1k counter out. They are down to 2 life already, so they'll probably just counter out of this one. No reason to give up a blocker this early in the game. Even if you have to give a 2k here, it's worth doing. Okay, and they do give me a 2k. I think that was the right call. Anything but take a life there. There was no reason to take a life with Green-Yellow Law here. Okay, they're going to play out Jory Bonnie. They're going to do some searching here. This deck does a lot of searching, guys. If there are any Green-Yellow Trafalgar Law players out there, or people who want to mess around with Trafalgar Law, look at this, guys. They're doing Trafalgar Law tricks, bringing back the Bonnie, playing out a beige. Incredibly well played so far by my opponent. But, guys, if you like playing, if you're looking for a deck that searches through the entire deck and gets full range of all the cards in the deck, Green-Yellow Law, that's the way to go. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and play out the Koala for the turn. We did some searching there. We threw 1 8-cost Dragon in the trash. I think we're only going to need 1 per game. But here we go. It depends on who you're going against, of course, but typically speaking, you only need 1 8-cost Dragon per game. So we're going to play out the Koala, go -3 to the Cavendish. We're going to swing 3 into 3. He gives me the blocker there. Okay, now we're going to go 6 into 3. Does he want to keep giving me blockers and cards from hand and stuff like that? He's going to give me the blocker here and give me a 1k. Okay, well, 6 more into 3. Again, it's just going to... We're going to keep going at it like this, guys. We're going to keep going at it like this. Does he want to give me the beige? Giving me beige seems a little bit crazy here, I'm going to be honest. Even giving me 2k counters is a bit crazy, but that is Cavendish. Hey, guys, that is Cavendish we're talking about, right? Okay, so now we're going to go 6 into 4. Does he want to give me 2k counter and a 1k, or does he want to give me the beige here? We're going into his board, and then we're going to play out a Searcher, fix our hand a little bit. We get a 2k counter, and we're going to pass it back. Okay, our board is getting huge. Okay, they swing 2 into 2. We're just going to let that go. We're not worried about that at all. And we have a Dawn on our leader, so they can't just get rid of anything that matters on my board unless they do something, make a huge, make a huge commitment here. So watch this. He did set a card to his life with the 7-cost Law. I think, I can't remember what it was he put there. So he's going to swing 6 into 6. I think I'm just going to let this go and use my leader effect to save it. So I just completely... Guys, my leader effect just countered an attack. It just canceled an attack. Okay, 6 into 4, he can have that card, right? He can have that card. That's fine. Okay, it was another Law, pulling back the Searcher, playing out another Searcher, an even bigger Searcher. Seems good. Seems good, guys. A top 5 search like that. Oh, man. I have to revisit this leader very soon, guys. I have such a long list of leaders I have to revisit with all these new cards and new interactions available on the sim. Just bear with me, guys. Be patient. Okay, so right now we are going to start fighting their board. We're going to start attacking into their board. We have to start punishing them in some way or another, right? So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go 6 into the Law and then 6 more into the Law. We're just going to keep hitting this Law over and over again. Give me all your cards. Give me your blockers. Give me whatever. Okay, they let it go. That does clear up a spot for them on the board, so I don't think that was the worst thing in the world. But we're going to go ahead and play out the Dragon here, then the Ivankov, then Hack. Now we're going to fix our hand even more. We get another Hack, and we're passing back to them. That was a very good... That was a great turn for us. We have developed very wide on the board. We have a Dawn on our leader. We have a blocker. We have 2 life, and we actually have a lot of counter power in hand. We're in a very good position right now. Okay, let's see what they're going to do. So are they going to go for face or are they going to go for the board? They choose to go for face. Okay, I'm actually going to let this card go. I'm going to cancel my leader effect and not have it go through. And I'm going to just let my Hack get removed there, let it get KO'd in battle. And I'm going to get rid of that beige. That card has to go. I just want it out of here because I did already see he was playing out a Eustace Kid. I had already seen the Eustace Kid from one of his previous searches. Okay. So here we go. They're going to put some cards in their life with the Bonnie. They cheated out from the Eustace Kid. We're going to 2k counter out of that, and here we go. They're not going to play the card to the board. They're actually just going to gain a life, which is really strong. Or I guess not gain a life, but they're going to keep their life where it is. Okay, well, playing out Koala now. We're going to play out Fire Fist to remove their blocker, and we're going 8 into 5. Why 8 into 5? Specifically to get around that Trafalgar Law. I don't want them to go Trafalgar Law and 2k to get a 1-card answer. No, we're going 8 into 5, and if he wants to block that, he's going to have to give us a 2-card answer. Okay, well, that was easier than I thought, right? In my head, I'm thinking, wait, that was a lot easier than I thought. Well, guess what are we going to do for the rest of this turn, guys? We're just going to attack in for basic numbers here. Just make sure we can attack all the way across the board. Swing 6, swing 6, swing 7. And then we are going to play out hack. We're going to play out a blocker and say it's your turn. And we'll probably also use the stage, of course. We'll do that first. Trashing a Karasu, grabbing a 2K counter, seems good. Play out a hack. We have a Dawn on our leader. He can't even KO one of our cards right now unless we let him, unless it's the Koala. Okay, so here we go. What's he going to do now? What's the next order of business for this Trafalgar Law player? He is up against the ropes. He is not in a great spot, right? This is not a great spot to be in. Going for lethal is probably the best call here. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if he has Hody Jones, then he has Hody Jones, because it's like the only thing that can win him the game here. And right here, I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm going to take this hit, because if he had Hody Jones, he would have already played it to tap down my blocker. I'm not blocking the biggest hit. I'm taking that one. I'm going to force him to overcommit here, and then I can win on the crackback very easily. So I just have to survive this turn. And like I said, since he didn't play out Hody Jones to start the turn off, I'm thinking, okay, well, he doesn't have Hody Jones. Okay, fine. So I'm going to 2K 1K out of that one, and I still have my blocker, and I still have a life. I'm feeling pretty good about this game now. Feeling pretty good about it, unless he bluffed it. But again, why would he? He had game to begin with if he had the Hody Jones. Okay, he's going to play out some searchers here. He's going to play out the Law, pulling back the searcher, playing out the beige. And honestly, I think in this situation right here, he should probably pull back the Kid and Killer. I'd probably smash in it with as much as like, okay, he decides not to attack anywhere with Law because of my leader effect. I can just stop that attack entirely. And here we go, guys. I mean, we're all in. We're not surviving another turn, right? Not with this board, and we can't get his board because he has 2 blockers. It's not happening. We are all in. So we're going to swing for 6s, 7s, and 8s all the way across the board. It's all we can pull off here. Okay, so we swung for 6. Now we're going to swing for a bunch of 7s and 8s. So here we go. Here comes the first 7. 1K, 1K, 1K. That doesn't feel very good. Now we're coming in for 7 more. He's going to have to give me a blocker, and then 7 more, another blocker, and then we still have an 8K. Yeah, and then he goes about things like that. So good game to our opponent there. Even if they had pulled back the Kid and Killer, it wouldn't have actually mattered because they only had another 1K in hand, so they couldn't get out of another 7K even with it in their hand. Either way, good game to my opponent. That was a close one. All right, next game up. So that was against Green Yellow Law. Let's go and move on to the next game. We got 2 games left here. Let's go. Let's check out this game against Green Zoro. That's right. We got a game versus Green Zoro here. Volume is off. Speed is on 2x, and here we go. Okay, we got a decent start because we have the searcher here. Hopefully we can find something better. Okay, going into another searcher. We grab a 2K counter. I think we're going to grab the... I think we grabbed the blocker, but we should have grabbed the 2K counter. So they're going to play out the Hiyori. They played out Hiyori on turn 1. They're using on turn 2 because they went first. So on their second turn here, they're playing out the Hiyori. They find the 9 flash there, or excuse me, I think that one was Dead Man's game. They're going to swing for 7 into 5. I think we're going to 2K 1K to get out of that, and I guess we should have gotten a 2K, but I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyway because we used it right there. I don't play out the hack against this matchup for a few reasons. Number 1, they can just tap it down and smash into it, even with my leader effect. That's still very strong, but at the same time, I'm on the even curve, so I can't protect it the turn I want to play it out. So I'm going to go straight into Emporio Ivankov and be able to protect whatever I play from that. They play out a Cavendish, they play out Hiyori, that's fine. We're going to go ahead and slam down the Ivankov here. I think we're going to get the hack, it's the best option we have, and then we're going to attach a Dawn to our leader, swing for 6. They're down to 3 life, your turn. Okay, so our board is protected now. So now they're going to play out Tashigi, attach 3 Dawn to my guy. They're going to have to swing into my guy, and then I can just let that go and then protect it with my leader. And now he has to attack into it again with Cavendish just to get rid of it. Just to get rid of that card, they're going to have to attack into it with Cavendish. Now I'm starting to think, you know what? Maybe I saved this card. They can't, remember, they played out the Tashigi for this turn, guys. They played out Tashigi this turn. They can't attack with that card. Okay, I just protect the card. I say, okay, well, now he's going to get to swing with his leader, but he can only attack into my leader with it. He can't attack into the board here. Okay, he attacks in for 10. We take it. And here we go, guys. It's about to be fireworks. We're going to go 2 into 0. There's no reason to attack into that. And right here, I think what we're going to do is we're going to swing 6 into 6. Watch this, guys. We got a huge play mistake coming up here. They tried to use Dead Man's game, which can only counter out to save the leader. I messaged him. I said, hey, you can only use that event on leaders. And they said, I thought it was Paradise Waterfall or Paradise Tatsuka, whichever one. I think it's Paradise Waterfall, whichever one it is. I said, oh, okay, gotcha. You know. Honest mistake, it happens. It does happen, but that was a massive mistake. Now, don't get me wrong, unless it was the Waterfall card that can, or I think it's, like I said, it's either Tatsuka or Waterfall that stands up the character, I was about to smash everything into that Cavendish. Okay, so they end up, so here we go. So, pause, hang on. I'm getting too far ahead of myself here. Let's go back just a little bit. So right here, so again, we smash into the Cavendish for 6. They actually used the wrong event on that. That's fine. If they would have stood it up, all the rest of this turn would have remained the same, but they would have had one extra attack. We're going to swing in for 7, and then we're going to swing in for 9. Okay, so here we go. They take that. Okay, if they took the 7K, they're probably about to take the 9K, right? That's how that goes. And that dragon is nice, guys. That 8-cost red rush dragon is actually very nice in this list because it allows us to play him out on curve on an 8 Dawn turn and still have Dawn attached to our leader. Okay, they're going to go 7 into 5. I think we're just going to use that effect right away. We're going to protect ourselves from that attack. And now they're going to play out a Mihawk. Okay, notice we used our hack to block there and it didn't get KO'd because we used our leader effect to save it. They're going to play out a Mihawk, they're going to play out a Tashigi, and they're about to smash into something here. I'm probably going to save whatever it is, okay? They're going to go 8 into 6. Okay, well, that's the only attack you can use this turn with your leader. So guess what? We're actually going to save this card, guys, with our 2K, 1K. He can't attack into anything else on the board except the dragon, but he's an 8K attacker, and I have a 9K dragon. Okay, here we go, guys. We're actually about to do a search here. We search up the stage. Watch this, guys. We're looking for a very specific card. We already have one in our hand. Stage, top 3 search. There it is. Double Fire Fist, getting rid of their blocker, and we are all in. We're swinging 6, 7, 7, 9. I'm saying, hey, you got it or you don't. Okay, we're calling game right here. Swing 7, swing 9, GG. He must have gotten a 1K from the very end there from his life. Good game to my opponent. They did make one pretty big play mistake, but remember, guys, we didn't have to end the game right there. We could have battled for the board, established a, maybe searched for a blocker instead of all the other stuff we were doing. Things could have gone very differently there, but once I saw, like, okay, wait a minute, if I get one more Fire Fist, I can just go for game, we went for it. Good game to my opponent. That was a fun one. All right, I've got one more game. This one's a pretty interesting one here, guys. Found a pretty cool opponent to go against here, running Blue, Ace, and Whitebeard. Ace and Newgate, okay? Don't see much of this leader. I have not visited, hang on, let me pause. It's going so fast here. This is a leader I definitely want to revisit again in the future at some point. The ST22 Ace and Newgate deck. Okay, all right, here we go. So they're going to go first. We're going second. So I don't know if they want to go first or second. I can't remember if they won the dice roll or if we did, but we always want to go second, so that worked out perfectly for us. I think we played out the Searcher event, and then we played out the Koala. We fixed our hand, and we're good to go. They play out Whitey Bay, which has an on play to give your leader plus 2,000 for the turn by revealing 2 Whitebeard Pirates from your hand. They're going to smash in for 7. We're just going to take that. We're going to take that hit. That's fine with us. We're going to swing for 5 here. Okay. They take that. They take the 5K hit, so they have something in mind here. We're going to play out the hack, and that's not really great for us. They play out Trafalgar Law, the 2K counter with Activate Main. If we have 6 or more cards in hand, we have to bottom deck one of our cards from our hand. Okay, so we bottom deck a card, and now it's going to be our turn. They can swing for 6 with their leader, and that's about it. That Whitey Bay is a your turn on play effect. Okay, so that's not very intimidating, right? We're not really scared of that card anymore. Okay, so here we go. They're going to play out an Ezo to fix their hand a little bit, and let's see what they choose to do now. They're probably just going to swing for 5 with leader, and I think we'll just give them a 2K here. It makes the most sense. We could give them the Koala as well, because we do have a very good curve. I like giving the 2K counter better, though, here. Okay, guess what? That hack, we're just attacking with it. We're smashing in for 5. We're going to swing for 6 with leader, and then we're going to play out the Emporio Ivankov. I didn't play out the Ivankov first this time, just in case he has like a Gravity Blade or some type of Red Rock or something like that. I didn't want to potentially lose playing out a Karasu and like losing it right away. Okay, here we go. So we played out the Ivankov into another Ivankov, filling up our trash. We have the perfect curve here. We're going to be able to go straight into Dragon. They're going to go 6 into 5, guys. I'm just going to let that go. That's fine with me, okay, because we have our leader effect, right? Okay, now this next turn we won't, though, will we? We're going to swing for 5. Let's see what they choose to do. They have 4 cards in hand. They give me a blocker right away, guys. I wouldn't use the blockers that early. We're going to swing for 5 more. They're countering out way too aggressively here, guys. I understand my board is full, but they need to start getting cards in hand or they're not going to be able to answer what I'm about to do. So I push some cards back to the bottom of my deck, and I play out a Karasu. Unfortunately, that was the only target I had. I didn't have another Ivankov in my trash. But Karasu is still a very good target, right? That's still a very strong target. Okay, so they're going to reveal something from their hand there to put on top of their deck. They revealed something from their hand and then put a card on top of their deck, and they play out the Sanji, playing out the Newgate. Really nice combo there, but they're tapped out. They don't have a blocker, and my board is massive, guys. Guys, my board is absolutely stacked, but here's the thing. I'm going to counter out of everything, by the way. They're swinging for 5, swing for 5. I'm countering out of every single thing here. I'm not taking any chances. Okay, and I have plenty of counter power. Okay, well, we might take the 6K to the face because, guys, we're going all in here. Like, we are all in on this turn because he has a 9K and a 10K double attacker on the board. No thanks. We're not trying to play that game. We're swinging for 7 first to do a minus 1,000 power to the leader for the rest of the turn. And now we're going to swing for 6s and just nothing but massive numbers after that. Okay, swing for 6 into 4. He's going to have to give me a 2K, 1K. And remember how aggressively he was countering out in this game. Going to swing in for 6. That one goes through. He got 2 draw 1 triggers from his life, by the way. Seems good. We're going for 6 more. He takes that, so we're going to go in for 6 more, and then we're going to go in for pause. Then we're going to go in for 12 because he had 0 life. Okay, good game to my opponent. That was a close one. I love seeing these different off-meta rogue decks. It's always good to see those pop up. So really cool stuff here. Hopefully I have time in the near future to revisit this deck. At least sometime soon, hopefully. Okay, let's hop over to the deck list one more time. Check this out, guys. So here it is. There is a card that I really want to consider adding to the list. I just have to find room for it. And it's probably this one cost Koala. I would like to add like 1 or 2 of these. I don't know if I'll be able to or not, but I would like to add 1 or 2 of these to the list. Some cards that were performing very, very well, of course, you know, as to be expected, the 5 cost Ivankov and the 8 cost Dragon. Incredible. You know, Chef's Kiss, those things are incredible. Hack and the Ivankov here, all the searchers, of course, were very good. And believe it or not, Lindbergh was pretty nice. We didn't see a lot of him in those games, but he seemed pretty decent in my testing because he also gives us some, you know, help from our life, right, from the trigger spot. So it's nice to have access to that, and it does combo with the Koala and the Fire Fist. What else? I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. The list is running well. I would like to find like a really strong 6-drop to include in this list for red and black, but we don't have the greatest targets. Like, I was originally running this Sabo, but you have to imagine it like this. For every card we add to the deck that's bigger than like a 5,000 power card, it's probably not for our it's probably not for the better for what we're trying to do, right? Because in this version of the list with Sabo, we're trying to board spam. We're trying to board flood with the Emporio Ivankov. And the more targets we add that whiff on this hit right here, on this character, the worse, right? Because think about it like this. In this entire deck right now, let me see something. In this entire deck, there are only 1, 5, 9, 13. There are only 13, I guess, and itself, right? So 13 plus, we'll just say +3 instead of +4 because you're going to play one out. So there are only 16 cards in this entire deck that can whiff on this search. Can you whiff on the search still? Yes, absolutely. It can happen. But we want to make those chances as low as possible. Now, I will say this. I'm not a huge fan of Karasu in this list. It did help us close out lethal at the end there, that's for sure. So, I mean, it's probably perfect as a 2 of in here. But it's not really what the deck is built around, right? It's not what's winning us games. It helps us close out games, but if we're not flooding the board with a card like Ivankov or Dragon, well, we're actually in trouble. We're not doing too well. Because one thing this deck does not do is it does not interact with our opponent's board very good, or very well, however you say that. It's not great at interacting with our opponent's board. Because of the nature of the leader effect and because of this 8-cost Dragon, we're really just trying to do our own game plan, and for the most part, we're just ignoring what our opponent does, and we're just trying to fill out the board more efficiently and quicker than they do. So with that in mind, I wish we did have something else to add to the deck that can do that, and some people are probably thinking, yeah, well, why not just add the 4-cost Ivankov? Well, remember, this is not Bello Betty. We can't just trash a card from our hand and have a 7,000 or 8,000 power character like it's nothing. So again, that's not really helping us out too much, putting this card in the deck. We might still have to consider it. Who knows? We might still have to consider this card. But I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm not a huge fan of this card in this kind of list. It's just... There are some plays you can do, though. Let me at least give some ideas of some of the plays you can do. Like, let's just say it's a 10 Dawn turn. You have all the cards in your trash you need. You can go, okay, on a 10 Dawn turn, right? Play out Dragon for 8. Cheating out the Ivankov from your trash, and then maybe running into the 4-cost Ivankov in the top 3 search from your other Ivankov, cheating this out, and then attaching 2 Dawn to this Ivankov, the remaining 2 you had for the turn, that can cheat out another character. That's cool and all, but is that even needed? Is that even necessary? I feel like that's just like, it's kind of like, it's like overkill or something. And now you can't even protect your board, right? Now you can't even protect your board from KO with your leader effect because you use all 10 of your Dawn to play out the 8-cost Dragon and then attach 2 Dawn to this card you cheat out from your Ivankov. Now, it's true, you know, you're going to have a massive board afterwards, but think about what that does. Playing out this dragon in that example, and then playing out a card with this from your hand, you just went -2 in hand. You just lost 2 cards in hand to go +4 on the board, which is very strong. But are you going to survive that crackback? Because none of those cards we just mentioned had blocker on them. Unless the card you played out from this Ivankov had blocker. Maybe it was a hack or an Ivankov. But again, if that happens, well, now you can't protect the card on the board when you block with it. So you don't, I just feel like it's not really the way to go about things. We'll have to see. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. But that's about it. I really do want to know what y'all think about this. This list was performing pretty well. I think this deck will probably be kind of decent into Zoro. Because think of it like this. If you do, like, I'm talking about green Zoro. Like, if you attach a Dawn to this character and they tap down one of your blockers or whatever character they might tap down, any of your characters, if they tap them down, you can just let the character go with your leader's effect, and now it's protected, right? So this leader might be like a weird, you know, off-meta choice, off-meta pick to take care of green Zoro. But against other decks in the format, like anything that has blue that can bottom deck, green still can get around your blockers with a lot of resting, so maybe not, we'll have to see. But let me just say this, you know, I like what they're doing with red-black, with the red-black leader color pool now, because originally there was Garp, right? And it was like, you know, Dawn assignment into cost reduction. It was cool, it was interesting, but it didn't have the greatest synergy, right? So then they came out with Sabo, and then later they came out with Kobe, the leader Kobe, and it looks like red-black's theme is going to be all about board protection, just like what we saw with some of these new black cards for Revo Army, where they have +4 cost built into them, right? +4 cost on Morley, +4 cost on Hack. Now let me just bring up the rest of the Revo Army stuff real quick. Like when you look at the rest of the stuff from OP12, right, you know, Morley gets +4 cost, this Lindbergh, whereas this Karasum and things like that. It's pretty cool. Now, speaking of that, I'm glad I actually searched up Revo for the end part here. There are some other cards to consider. It would be nice to go up a few extra blockers, cards that also fill up your trash. But one thing I noticed about this card was it seemed like it was a little bit, you know, how do I say this? It was a bit lackluster, right? Or it was a little bit too much. It's the other way around. It's not even lackluster, it's too much. It can protect us from KO, but we already have that built into our leader. It does fill up our trash, and it does allow us to play this out on curve when we can't attach a Dawn to our leader, so it does have something going on for it, but at the same time, I don't know how necessary this card is. Does that make sense? It does fix our hand a bit, it does fill up our trash a bit, but I will always rather play out the Ivankov on curve. So maybe we can fit 1 or 2 of these into the list. That could be pretty good. But yeah, we'll have to see. And also another card to consider is this 8-cost Sabo. It's just a solid card. It's Revo Army searchable. It can potentially take out 2 targets on your opponent's side of the board, and it's a massive 9K. So there could be some options here, and it does require you to trash a card from your hand, which is important. That's actually not a bad thing, because when you're trashing a card from your hand, you're filling up your trash for your 8-cost Dragons effect, and it allows you to target certain cards to trash, right? So for example, if you don't have an Ivankov, where's Ivankov? If you don't have an Ivankov in your trash, and you play out this Sabo, you can trash the Ivankov with the effect of Sabo to KO a 5-cost and a 3-cost on your opponent's side of the board, and then next turn you can follow up with a Dragon, pulling the Ivankov back out of your trash. So it does have some synergy with the deck, and it has removal, and that would be nice, because one thing, like I said earlier on, you know, we don't have a lot of ways to deal with our opponent's side of the board. We're not interacting with our opponent very much at all with this deck. We're trying to just, you know, develop a board they can't really deal with effectively enough. So yeah, that's about it, guys. Again, tell me what y'all think in the comments section below. I'm very curious to hear what you guys are thinking, what kind of thoughts you guys have for Red Black Sabo. Is there a card you're running in here that I was not that seems like really, really good from your play testing? By all means, share with us down in the comment section below. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Let me get the outro page on here. Okay, big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, using my TCG Player affiliate link. If you're supporting me through donations on Patreon or PayPal, if you're a Playmat supporter, if you're a YouTube member, if you're part of the Discord community, whatever you're doing to help me out and to help out the community, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, guys. Peace.